Have you had any experience with this or heard amongst the various judges what type of reaction this has been getting?
Yes. Yes, I have. The judicial settlement conferences, what we call them on the civil side, I think are becoming more popular amongst the members of the bar, and a more of a viable option for resolving cases. I have done some in Middlesex, more than anywhere else over last year, and particularly at points where we're not doing trials, it became something that we certainly were pushing, as you said, more people to do and to try. In my view, there's really no downside to doing it, and it's many more benefits than anything negative that can come out of it. They, I think, when we get a chance to have status conferences, get post summary judgment, people are using them more, and I think it's very helpful. It's a slightly different role for the judges to play, but to some extent, we've been doing some version of this all along, even before it was sort of codified into the rule.
How are you typically handling those? I assume, are you doing them by Zoom?
I have done them both ways, and it has depended on sort of where we are in the trajectory of this virus. I think ideally they're in person, because some of the intangible benefits of having the judge evaluate the case and do it in front of the clients and with the lawyers and the clients, I think is enhanced in person. When you're looking at people eye to eye, and people have the get to come into the courtroom and feel how it is to be in there, maybe decide that they don't want to be in there for a trial, or they don't want to be up on that stand answering questions. So I think it has a lot of benefits when it's in person. However, I have been very successful doing them on Zoom as well. And the breakout room functions helps, so that we can sort of run it like a mediation, where I talk to everyone and then have them break out with their clients and go into their rooms and speak with them individually, and then come back together, however many rounds of that we want to do and have time for. I think it's been quite amenable to Zoom.
Once a party requests something along these lines, do you have any sense of about how long it takes to set this up?
This is easy to set up. This is at the judge's discretion, his or her calendar, however much time you need. I usually will give people at least 2 hours, maybe 3, and block off that time. If you ask the clerk for this type of session, she or he and I look at the calendar and decide the soonest time we can get everyone in. So it's very easy to set up, and you can get in pretty quickly to do it.
And do you see any differences in the way you're handling those as opposed to, let's just say, a hearing or anything else, or is it pretty much going along the same type of wavelength?
I mean, I think it's very similar to any other hearings. The one difference being that most of the time on the civil side, of course, the clients aren't there with us. That's something else that Zoom has impacted as well. I think now it is more likely that clients join for different types of motions. But certainly at a settlement conference, everyone is there. And the clients being there, I think, makes a difference in terms of what is said. And it also makes a difference. I think I tend to allow people to get into the weeds a little bit more, whether it's the lawyers who may be making points and arguments for the benefit of their client and who may be sharing information with me that isn't evident in the papers. So I probably give people a little bit more time at these types of conferences. But the other rules of play are essentially the same as other motions and hearings.
How about the other judges? Do any of you have any particular things you'd like to share with regard to judicial assessments and mediations and the use of technology, of whether that's kind of encouraged these things to take place?
I've done a bunch of them.